Today is the 30th of November. We're about to take on our biggest test of our history, of our career so far, in the form of José Mourinho's Bayern Munich. Quite literally, that's actually where he's based at right now, and it's amazing that that's our next test away from home at the Allianz Arena. We've been linked with Wolfsburg, and it's an interesting time. Despite the fact that the last video, I literally signed a new contract. Unsurprisingly, the board are delighted with the fact I've said, no, I'm not going anywhere. What the hell are you talking about? It is interesting that they have actually stated what my style of play is. The fact it's a wing play with the idea of building up play from the back. I really do enjoy how much we can stretch teams out when we do have our play. But at the same time, given we've won the Vice Bundesliga, we've been linked with Wolfsburg, who, admittedly, I will acknowledge this, admittedly, Wolfsburg are a team with a better reputation than ourselves. We've got a 3.5-star reputation right now, while Wolfsburg have got a 4-star reputation, so it makes sense that's the case. The fact that they're actually in 5th place predicted, and then all these sector managers tells you just how bad their season's been, doesn't it? But either way, stuff's happened since we last met. I've not made any signings for once, but we played some games since the Heidenheim match and the international break. So what's happened since then? Perhaps ironically, the first game we had was actually a 0-0 draw against Wolfsburg, so perhaps not the greatest indication that we are ready for that jump anyway, given we only got a 0-0 draw against them. But then again, their goalkeeper had the man of the match performance, so yeah, Camille Cabral is quite a good goalkeeper. I've actually used him on some of my saves in the past, and if you look at his goalkeeping technique and, well, goalkeeping attributes here, it's quite high. So if you look at that, it's really good. It's just a shame he's in a side that's not doing very well right now. But either way, it was a good point. Perhaps we should have won. Especially when you look at the stats and you realize, oh, we were the much better team. XG of 1.88 and not scoring. Their goalkeeper had a really good game. Even if I didn't really see a lot of highlights from myself, but it's one of those things. But then we took on Frankfurt and went ahead inside 60 minutes in a match we would eventually win 3-0. Ostanelli with the opening goal from the range, a good goal to say the least. It was helped by the fact that they went down to 10 men 2 minutes later, and before halftime we make it 2. Ostanelli finds Müller, and Müller finds the back of the net. Does it take a deflection? Potentially yes, but it didn't matter at the end of the day. Either way, we make it 3 in the 79th minute of the game, and well, Nato scores that goal, so good stuff, and it was a good performance. Even if we had less shots in this game than we did against Wolfsburg. So, makes me wonder why we weren't as clinical there. And also, Frankfurt had more of the ball. So maybe we are good at counter-attacking. But if you also look at the pass map, I'm questioning why some of the players are focusing more on the left-hand side. And there's just one player, the number 4. But then you realize that Shohanlu, who's supposed to be the ball-playing defender, by the way, is literally on his own and barely makes any passes to the number 12. So it's questions on our point of view, but we made the work play. We made it work. And if you look at how wide some players end up going in the pass map, it's quite interesting to say the least. So a 3-0 victory against Frankfurt, a good performance. And then we took on Werder Bremen in the DFB Pokal, and Esposito gave us the first of 5 goals in this game. We destroyed our Nord derby counterparts in the cup, and Højlund scores his first goal of the season as well, so that's good to see him do well. And then later on, we got 3 goals in the last 10 minutes. Fish scoring his second goal of the season, both in the cup, mind you, with that effort. And then a few minutes later, 85 minutes in, Koningsdorfer finds Ottonelli. He finds Perai, who gets a bit lucky that he gets the second bite of the cherry there. And then he scores a penalty to get his second of the game and to get our 5th of the evening. We're through to the 3rd round of the DFB Pokal. We take on Mainz, and we made this look very, very easy. I was surprised at how well we did, given everything that was happening, and Shohanlu had a much better game in terms of the pass map, so food for thought maybe. Speaking of Mainz, we actually were trying to defend a throw-in, and Gruder scores the opening goal in a game we would eventually draw 1-1, and we got the equalising goal thanks to a penalty of Esposito, which was won by Sergio Rico. Yes, I'm saying that correctly. You didn't mishear me. Sergio Rico won the penalty because he got pushed in the Mainz penalty area from our own corner. It's quite funny that our goalkeeper, of all people, manages to win a penalty being pushed in the penalty area. It's one of those things that sometimes you can't believe it's happened, but you're going to take it anyway. That being said, we actually did start to have some injuries, which is why potentially our form has dropped off a little bit. I'm not concerned though. It's still a good system. It's still a good team, to say the least. And we did deserve at least a point here. We then took on Borussia Mönchengladbach, and you could always see something happening here. This is us defending from a set piece. Hack gets the goal, and we just let him run free. That's literally what we did wrong here. It was a corner that we didn't deal with properly. I feel like we had too many people back, so maybe that's on me to make that mistake to make up for the error I made here tactically. But it's 1-0 Gladbach. We didn't get a goal, and it's our second defeat this season in the Bundesliga so far. And I'm hoping that we can bounce back and not lose this game again. It feels like sometimes when we have more possession, we actually don't do as well, which is annoying, but it's one of those things that we need to work on. We would like to get more wins either way and not make mistakes from set pieces. Also, their goalkeeper got the Player of the Match award, which I think tells you just how good they were in their defensive duty. And in our last game we played, we actually drew 1 against Hoffenheim, but we went behind inside 82 minutes, and I genuinely thought after we let this happen that, oh, we're going to lose again. No, we rescued it, but we rescued it immediately from kickoff. This is still from the kickoff we just had, and Henderson, really good ball in. Esposito has to get there. He does a really good job of being a defender, but maybe we got lucky because actually Hoffenheim were the better team. And it shows you that maybe, just maybe, we need to start doing better with our play. The fact that our number 6 is getting a lot of the ball is probably not great, but Muller is also quite good. So I feel like having him be the focal point for the deep line playmaker role makes sense. Glatzel did play. He actually got him off and then got replaced by Esposito, who seems to continue his record of always seemingly scoring, coming from the bench. Glatzel was not particularly great, mind you, so that's why he was off. And I wish he was better, but it's one of those things, unfortunately. That being said, we are still in second place, even if our form has been hit a little bit. José Mourinho's Bayern Munich, who we go to today, have drawn 4 of the last 5. And we've not taken advantage of that because we've also drawn 3 of the last 5. We've only picked up 1 less point than they have, and the teams below us, like Union Berlin or RB Leipzig, are now starting to pick up points. Dortmund down in 9th is a bit of alarm bells for them, but they're only 4 points off us, even if they are potentially looking to sack Dortmund's manager. They were literally talking about how he'd be sacked, or at least the sack race. Then Tazek also talked about how Falke should be sacked for his work at Frankfurt, and given that Frankfurt are 17th and have yet to win this year, kind of hard to argue that, really. They've drawn more games than they lost, but they're yet to win. The only team not to win in the Bundesliga this year. We beat them. So, yeah, it's one of those things. They're doing the complete opposite of Bayern Munich, where they've got more draws than defeats, but they've also got no wins. If you replace the 7 with the wins and the draws with defeats, you've literally got the identical record of Bayern Munich. Just the wrong way round for their point of view. But there you go. Either way, Bayern Munich today, they're quite good. Understandably, Harry Kane's got 10 goals. He's working with Mourinho again, which is understandably terrifying. And we'd like to do well. Sergio Rico has actually got 5 clean sheets this year, so he's not been terrible. We've just been unfortunate sometimes. We have conceded 11 goals. The fact that the Freiburg game is the only game we've conceded more than 1 goal, though, in a game, is still annoying and still going to haunt me. We have only scored... We've only failed to score more than 1 goal 3 times this year. In games we have scored, we have also lost 2 games, to be fair. We've only failed to score 3 games this year, which is fine, but we need to work on a few things. And when we do win quite nicely. It's just a shame that the one big defeat is the 5-0 thumping that Freiburg gave us. Freiburg now down in 8th is a bit annoying, but what can you do? Either way, we could actually fall down as low as 5th, potentially, I think. Maybe 7th. It can't be 7th. It could be 5th because of the fact that Augsburg and Gladbach have played. I actually don't know who everyone's playing, mind you. Frankfurt take on Dortmund. Bayer Leverkusen take on Stuttgart. Union Berlin take on Freiburg. And RB Leipzig take on Mainz. So we actually could go down as low as 5th today if we were beaten by Bayern Munich or Bayern München. And you never know. I actually do like to watch some of the teams around the country actually in real life. So I always find myself watching the Bundesliga these days. It's really good. And Falke's been sacked. Right, so Frankfurt just sacked their manager. They've yet to get a single win after 13 games. No surprise he's been sacked. But Bayer Leverkusen, RB Leipzig, and Union Berlin have all won. We're now down to 5th going into this game, and we're only 1 point clear of Dortmund and Gladbach, and 2 points clear of Augsburg. So we are starting to lose our form a little bit, and this is not unexpected, but it is annoying that we have started to slow down a little bit. But we're also 13 points clear of the relegation zone after 12 matches, so it's not terrible. It's just going to be one of those things that we need to improve on. I say relegation zone, I'm in the playoffs with further 2 points clear of the relegation zone, but you never know. Either way, Bayern Munich, José Mourinho's Bayern Munich, they want to go defensive. This might be one of those things where we need to actually look into this and say, well, maybe we need to go a bit more defensive here, distribute the fullbacks. Bader has been injured. Ast is currently out. He's out for another 5 days to 3 weeks because he got a calf strain, which I think he got in training. He got in training. And Veskovic is back. For the first time in this entire save, I get to use him. He's been suspended until the last game. I didn't use him then. He was on the bench. But this could be one of those games where I don't know what to expect. And I'm not sure how to feel about it. But Veskovic, I'm still considering selling him. To be completely honest with you. But unlike in real life, I think he's still staying for another 2 years in real life. But in this save, he's back. And we can have a good time. Jatta is only expected to play 75 minutes. Glatzel hasn't really been great as of late. And he is looking to be wanted. I'm going to tell Glatzel, look, I need you to actually start performing, please. You're making mistakes. I will trust you to do better, please. And Jatta, I need to do the same, I think. Because it's great that we got players doing really good, but I want them to do good stuff. I have faith in the players to do better, and getting their morale to get better is also useful. Bader is starting to improve a little bit, 6.8, 6.8. He was injured for these 5 games, so I think that has hurt us a little bit, not having the strength and depth, especially in the Mainz and Gladbach games. But it's one of those things. He was back for the Hoffenheim game, wasn't fully fit. Asta being out is annoying, and it's good to have the strength and depth. So if we can continue to progress, we're looking very good. Will Fish has been good. And yes, he's had a few bad games recently. 6.4, 6.6. But he was good against Mainz, good against Werder Bremen, good against Frankfurt. So if he continues to perform to that level, that's really good. So hopefully we can keep up the form in this regard. I'm starting to look at Esposito and think, actually, do I just start you? I say that. He started against... No, he actually started against Mainz and scored. So actually, I don't have the excuse to not use him. Only in the game against Wolfsburg that he didn't do well in. He came off... He's had 2 games where he started not done well. So maybe I just start him at Glatzel right now. I want to give Glatzel one more game, I think. And if he doesn't perform against Bayern Munich, which I know that sounds very harsh to say, yeah. Bayern Munich is the test that we're going to use for you. I think he needs to improve him quickly because Esposito... For a player I signed for less than $1 million, is starting to outshine him, and he is wanted, by the way. Glatzel, so I'm looking at Glatzel thinking, I can get 10 to 12 million for you. I might sell him. I'm actually considering selling the guy, which I never want to be saying, but it is actually a thing we can do now. And Ludwig Wies is also now worth between 18.5 to 23 million. So again, we could sell him. I don't want to sell him. He's really good. He's my best player, so... We've got an opportunity to make some money, and I don't know where to go about the idea, but there are some players I think are not as indispensable as I think they would be. That being said, I don't think I can drop Hollinson because he's been really good in the last 4 games. Look at this. Incredible stuff. So maybe he starts. I think that's the play. We're going to have him start ahead of Benez and go from there. So that's our plan. Let's see how we do against José Mourinho's Bayern Munich. And it's really good to see people doing good. Actually, when Glatzel was back in the first team, even Esposito was really delighted with the fact he was back. It was one of those things where, oh, this guy, they seem to respect him a lot. And it's really good to see that, to say the least, you know. I also keep forgetting that Bayern Munich are actually in Europe. But the fact it says José Mourinho, this is really bizarre that José Mourinho is managing Bayern Munich in this universe. And Kane's been dropped. Okay, so Kane has been dropped out right. He might be injured, actually. I don't know. But they made 6 changes, so they're definitely rotating, I think, for us, which is... I'm not upset if that's the case. They still got Mazraoui in the set. They still got the Lit, I believe. I could be wrong. But they've still got a very strong team regardless, man. It is a dangerous, dangerous team. And they signed Tonali for 80 million plus. They sold Kimmich to Saudi, which, again, terrifying thought when you think about it that way. This has been one of those games that I will look at the stats a lot, and I will try and adjust accordingly. So I look at the stats match momentum, and I had to think, okay, where do I go from here? I'm already thinking, do I just go to cautious? I'm going to go cautious immediately. Because even though some people say, oh, it's the coward way to play. No, I got to be pragmatic about the idea that we are going to take on a very good team, and immediately we get higher, and a change of momentum go in our favor. So going cautious is actually good in these situations when we're expected to lose or not to get the possession as much. Again, no highlights. I don't mind the no highlights thing as long as we don't lose. If we can keep a clean sheet against Bayern Munich at Bayern Munich, that's amazing for our point of view. So here's hoping we can do something. And it's a highlight for us. Ah, it's not the best pass, is it? If that was better, I would have think that would be the perfect opportunity. But the first highlight of the game, and the fact it's taking this long for a key highlight to arrive is interesting. But here's Weiss, Andres Müller, Bada, down the line to Jata, but it doesn't find Jata. Here's Davies anyway. This is a really strong Bayern Munich team. And I generally think this is a team we need to look into beating overall. But if we don't win, we're down to 5th. And I'm not actually upset with the idea of going down the table. I think the fact we've already got 22 points is really good for our point of view. And we still haven't played RB Leipzig or Dortmund yet, or Bayern Munich. And here's Gnabry. That's not surprising, is it? Serge Gnabry's first of the season. And it's a bit annoying that we conceded, but what can you do? They're a good team. It's a Bayern Munich team that I'm not expected to beat. And it's not the end of the world if we lose this game. But look at the talent they have, though, honestly. I don't know who. I'm not sure what Zamora suddenly gets played out, but it's one of those things that he thinks it's going to go elsewhere, and he opens up the space for them to go working. But I'm going to go defensive anyway, because they're just really good. It's a Bayern Munich team that are, despite who their manager is, they're still a very good team. And I am not expecting us to do a lot. This is I think the main aim of this year was just to survive. If we finish top half, that's amazing as far as I'm concerned. I don't need to get a big finish this year. I don't need to finish in the top 4. I don't need to finish in Europe at all. As long as we just survive and we don't get relegated, I'm content with this season. I really am. Okay, we made some changes. Lazio's been bad. Esposito's going to come on. Jata is going to come off, and Ostanelli is going to come on as well. And Vici is going to come off. We are going to have Benes go on there. And there's not really any player that stands out in other places, but the 3 changes we're making are all players that have not been very good in this game, so it makes sense to take them off. Okay, it looks like a free kick for then. Anton to take. I was going to get change, but his boy, Gnabry, and Guerrero, Sova, and Rico's denies. That's a good save from Rico, actually. I didn't realize he made the save, but I'm going to make 2 changes after this corner goes in. And I can't really say we've got a lot of people. I just realized there's nobody up here. I need to change that at some point for my set piece defense. So Coleman scoring would have been annoying. Okay, I'm going to make the change now. So Andres Muller's going to come off. Hayer's going to come on. And Sean Lewis. This is when Busquets is going to come on for the first time. This in a save, let alone this season. So here's hoping we have a good time. And despite the fact I'm expecting to lose, we're going to try something, and it may not work in our favor, but we're going to try something either way. It's better than nothing. Here's Nubel. By the way, Neuer left for Saudi. This is why he's not playing. That's why Nubel's playing instead. Upamecano finds Anton. It's a difficult team. I know this uphill challenge. I don't care who the manager is. The team is still extremely talented. And it's going to be one of those games where we need to say, okay, how can we beat this team? How can we do better? And there you go. It's one of those things. And here's Johanlo Muller. Oh, Benes on the ball. We got the ball back. Ostanelli finds Hollison. Oh my God, we've equalized. We've equalized against Bayern Munich. Oh, this is really good. I was talking about losing this game. We've gone defensive, by the way. And we just equalized. Who says that going defensive means you can't score goals? Huh? Benes, Ostanelli. It's a good ball to find his Icelandic kind of teammate. And there you go. Horinson with the finish. Okay, it's a goal kick for Bayern Munich. The fact we equalised this Bayern Munich is really promising. If we can get the ball back from Thomas Müller, that's great. He's had a really bad season so far, apparently, in his average rating, which is a bit bizarre to say the least. His boy, I think, is that boy you say? I don't know how to say that guy's name, but his Upamecano anyway. And I'm going to say boy, Lima, Davies. This is I don't mind as long as we can keep it. If we get a point here, that's an amazing point for us. Even if people are taking a lot of points off Bayern Munich this year because they keep enjoying. I feel like there's an opportunity that we can do some good damage either way. Gnabry, Upamecano, I don't mind being this defensive as long as we don't let them have a shot. Oh my god, Tell has just done that. Oh no. Who was the defender that led to that? I don't blame Rico. Why is Rico getting blamed for this, by the way? That's not his fault. That is not his fault. What on earth is he getting blamed for here? Because it's defender, it's Fish. I don't blame Rico. Why is Rico getting blamed for that? That's not his fault. How's Rico lose half a 0.5 rating because of that? I'm actually insulted for him. That's so stupid he gets blamed for that. I mean, Fish also loses the ratings as well, but even so, the fact that we concede a goal like that, I feel bad for the players. I don't even blame them for that. That's annoying. They probably did deserve to win, mind you, but even so, I do not blame the players for that defeat. That was a good performance. I'm not upset in the slightest. That was a good performance. Okay, so we're down to 5th, but that's not the end of the world. Yes, we are only 4 points clear of 18th and 10th, but we are comfortably clear the relegation zone. That was the plan. The aim was always to be clear the relegation zone. The fact we lost to Bayern Munich, not the end of the world. It was the biggest test away from home against Bayern Munich, and the fact we actually made them work for that is really, really good. So there you go. It's our 3rd defeat of the season. They said, oh, we just had the titles of Bayern Munich. We're not even meant to be in this title fight. For goodness sake, don't even think we're in a title fight. By the way, Union Berlin's managers did an outstanding job to get them in 2nd place this year. And it's Brighton's real-life manager that's doing it as well. It's amazing. I would love to know why Rico gets blamed for that, but it's one of those things. Either way, what I'm going to do is end this here. This is an outstanding start of the season still. I'm not concerned by a drop in form. I realize we've gone 4 games without a win, but then you realize some of the teams we've taken on in that time, it's not that bad. Okay, mine's maybe a bit of a bad one, but it's fine. It's fine. We take on Mainz in the cup next anyway. We can knock them out and go from there. I'm not concerned about a drop in form. It was expected, and we have a period where we take on Dortmund and RB Leipzig twice in a row in this season, so it's expected that we'll have a bad time. What I'm going to do is end this here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you guys like and share this video, and that you subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a lot. But anyway, until next time, goodbye, and well, good night.